Good afternoon. My name is Kim Forcum, and this is what would be a presentation on inclusion. So I should state that if I was actually giving this presentation to a group of my colleagues or a parent group, support group, any type of that, if I was sharing with someone or actually doing a training session, it would last a little longer. Probably with activities and everything included, it would last about an hour. So we're just going to take a real quick look at the presentation that I created and how it flows. Talking points. So first of all, this is the home screen, obviously. It goes directly to a YouTube video. It's just a real quick intro on inclusion in the classroom. A great way to just start the program and to intro into our activity. So before anything starts, after the intro video, I would have people break into small groups or in pairs or even individually do this first activity. So with this activity, what I'd like to do is just kind of pre-assess what it is that they think inclusion is, what is the mindset of everyone. They could write it on a Post-it note and send it, put it on a large poster up front, or we could generate some type of online collaborative document where it appears on the screen if we got that type of technology capabilities. Really cool way to generate ideas from everybody and get a pre-assessment. So let's jump right into the presentation. The first thing is actually just defining inclusion. We were asked to define 3 different ways. This first main page right here is taken off of the UNICEF website, and it had a lot of great information, but I pulled 3 different definitions of inclusion. Excuse me. So first is supporting and embracing diversity in a way that clearly shows all individuals are valued, recognized, and accepted for who they truly are. And mind you, we do try and keep the education mindset, but it doesn't have to be, just what is a definition of inclusion. This is actually from the dictionary, per se, the online dictionary. It gives you a couple different definitions there. I personally like, the practice of policy or providing equal access to opportunities and resources for people who might otherwise be excluded or marginalized, such as those who had physical or intellectual disabilities and members of other minority groups. The third one is also taken from the UNICEF website, and this just had a really great quote, and I felt like it was an over-capsized definition of inclusive. So inclusive education allows students of all backgrounds to learn and grow side by side to benefit all. We would go through these. I would obviously prompt discussions at any time. We discuss this. I felt like was important, just telling you what inclusion is not. These are general ideas that are not considered inclusion. So our stakeholders. On this part of the presentation, we would ask, who we think are stakeholders. They obviously can see the bubbles up here with the stakeholders, and each bubble goes to that stakeholder and what I believe to be their role. Obviously, my role as the educator. I put in medical staff because I do feel like there is a responsibility and that the students who we serve, all students that we serve, are medically taken care of and are of good health and have active relationships with pediatricians or family doctors. Okay, so let's keep moving on. This is the pros and cons of an inclusive type classroom. I feel like we often discuss the pros. There are a ton of pros to this, but there actually are some costs to being in inclusive classrooms, and I really like to bring that to light because although it is a phenomenal idea and it does show better growth, there are some cons and there is a cost to this happening. Also, I found a really great website you can see right here. I couldn't find a way to link this page, like hyperlink this page, but what I would do is just, if I were serving a group of people, I would have a printout of this presentation, or a way for them to link to that. So just for these purposes, I put copy and paste this into the URL browser, so that way you could pull up that article. It was pretty cool. All right, so this is a cool video that I felt like summed up. I could have typed a bunch of stuff, but this video really kind of summed up, some great strategies for inclusive classrooms, and it would automatically play. It's not very long. It's a 3.5-minute video. I felt like it was pretty good. Same with, here's activity 2. So this would be another breakout session where they could take 10 to 15 minutes to meet with a small group of their colleagues, no matter who I'm working with. It could be partnering, or it could be a single activity. They would collaborate on what they believe would be inclusive strategies that they could include within their own classrooms. If this was a group of teachers that I was working with, I asked them to come up with 3 diverse strategies. So just different strategies, whether it's visual schedules, or how to incorporate more social emotional type learning, social skills, peer grouping, and then they could search up at least one outside resource that would be beneficial if they were implementing it in classroom. And then they would have just send one speaker up and present to the classroom just real quick with the ideas that they come up with, and we could compare and contrast. It would just create a really great opportunity for discussion at this point. All right, so moving right along. This is how inclusion is supported, and these are a couple. Again, I could have typed out a bunch of stuff, but I really like these simple, to the point type of videos. I feel like they do a great job. This one is a little bit longer with 9 minutes, and then I really felt like it was important to include this TED Talk with Eileen Schwartz. She does a great job, and it's just a little bit longer at 11.5 minutes. So that was our research, and then the references, and it is all done. That is the presentation by Kimberly Forcum. Thank you so much.